All right, Brandon Marshall is now a Giant. Didn't expect it. So now we're gonna have to deal with OBJ and Brandon Marshall and Sterling Shepard. And I see so many attempts to minimize this on Twitter and things that saying Marshall only caught 3 touchdowns last year. So did Bryce Butler, and Marshall only had 48 touchdowns since 2012, and Dez has 52. So Dez is better than Marshall. Yeah, that's obvious, but what about OBJ? You're forgetting that equation when that guy needs two guys on him, and then this guy can beat you one on one. If you basically for Brandon Marshall, the type of wide receiver he is, you throw the ball in there. Either he catches it, or you need to be there to dislodge the ball out of his hands. A drop probably not going to happen. So he's a chain move. He's a different thing. He's a late. Before that, I was talking about boy on the phone. He was like, before they had this little bitchy receiving squad that would go these little short routes and you hit it and all that kind of stuff. But now they got a dog. They got a dog that's gonna his job is gonna be moving the chains and scoring in the red zone. That's gonna be what he's gonna be there for. So the reason why I'm not too freaked out about it at all is that we can shape our secondary the way we want to right now. And of course, you saw how juiced up I was over the draft. There's a lot of talent out there. And I'm not saying, oh, we got to go corner 1, 2, and 3. Hell no. No, that's absolutely stupid. But if we know, we got to do work. Because if we know every single thing about every single corner in this draft, our chances of hitting on an Anthony Brown 3 times over is much better in rookie free agents, because there's going to be some talents pushed there. In the later rounds, there's going to be some talent pushed there. We've got to do our homework to get the right guys. There is, like I said before, there was a ton of wide receivers over 6 foot that can run. And that's the type of person you need with Brandon Marshall. You need someone that's big, strong, but can run for the other receivers in the league, because you can't get a guy, that's Parcells days. You can't get a guy just for Brandon Marshall, but you got to get a guy that can cover Brandon Marshall and somebody else. Okay, Naked Kid just walked in. You can't just get a guy just for Brandon Marshall. You got to get a guy that's going to be able to cover him as well as other things. So the ability to make our secondary extremely flexible, kind of like we already have with Byron Jones when he can do a lot of things. Now is the time when we can, through scouting, not through going and making sure we get all the top draft picks and all that kind of stuff over there. No, through scouting, make sure we get the guys that can either cover these guys or can scheme cover these guys, but the right talent to be able to stop this thing that's going on in the Giants. And also, and the reason why you have to put I'm the number one person is pass rush is number one. Pass rush is the number one thing to stop the passing game, blah, blah, blah. That's just football law or whatever. However, the Giants' passing game, they have this quick BS little passing game. I talked about it all last season that I couldn't stand, where it's just a quick drop back and hit, quick drop back and hit. And we're going to have corners to fight that, because that is built to keep the pass rush at bay, because you can't get to the quarterback in 3 seconds. So these are the things, and like I'm getting ready to tweet, the only weakness in that trio is Eli Manning, and Eli Manning is going to give us some opportunities. And again, we need to have the secondary that will be able to hawk the ball when Eli throws it to us, catch it, and pretty much like Deion Sanders, if you catch it, you need to take it to the house. So we need to get those type players as well. That's why I said this is good, because we can focus in on the exact type of secondary that we need to be able to stop this Giants offense, as well as become juggernauts in the NFL, or be able to, control anybody in the NFL. That's it. So I'm not worried, but it's not a good way to start. If the Giants get a Christian McCaffrey, or even a Leonard Fournette if he falls, or some kind, one of these, basically you can't really think that. You have to know they're going to get a running back, because there's so many available. There's so many available in the draft, and there's so many available in free agency. And if they couple that with some some linemen, along with what they did on defense last year, they're going to be a formidable foe. A formidable foe. Still like our chances, though. Still like our chances. All right, guys. Holla at you. Peace.